President Trump's Supreme Court nominee is back on Capitol Hill this morning after a full day of answering questions. Yesterday, members of the Senate Judiciary Committee questioned Judge Amy Coney Barrett's stance on issues like abortion rights and gay marriage. Barrett sidestepped those topics, saying she would not forecast her decisions. She promised the senators she's made no commitments and would not let her personal beliefs get in the way of the law.
Judges can't just wake up one day and say, I have an agenda, I like guns, I like abortion, I hate abortion, and walk in like a royal queen and impose, their will on the world. Let me be clear, I have made no commitment to anyone, not in this Senate, not over at the White House, about how I would decide any case.
Democrats repeatedly asked Barrett if she'd vote to overturn the Affordable Care Act. And in one exchange, vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris asked her about Obamacare subscribers who have pre-existing conditions.
What weight would you give the fact that 135 million Americans with pre-existing conditions are now depending on the protections of the Affordable Care Act? What weight would you give that?
I can't really say, sitting here, how they would play in or weigh in this case, because that's part of the legal calculus of the case.
Judge Barrett did say that people with pre-existing conditions would be considered in the case that will be argued at the Supreme Court next month, though she would not specify to what extent.
CBS News chief legal correspondent Jan Crawford joins us from Washington now. Jan, good morning. Judge Barrett is certainly not the first Supreme Court nominee to sidestep where they stand on particular key issues. What was your takeaway from the hearings?
Well, I mean, that's right. I mean, she stuck to that Supreme Court script that goes back 40 years to when Justice Sandra Day O'Connor was sitting in that chair. No hints, no forecasts of how they might decide any cases or issues that might come before them. But I thought what was notable is that she didn't shy away from her personal views. She was very forthcoming that she is a woman of deep faith, a Catholic. She's pro-life. But she stressed that those personal views, she's never imposed them on people in her life, and she wouldn't do that as a justice. I don't remember seeing that before, that kind of forthcoming, not dancing around the issues of how she thinks personally.
Does that give us any sense of what kind of Supreme Court justice she might be, Jan?
It does in a way, but not as much as what also I thought was a big clue from these hearings. And this was also something that was really different. She flat out said, look, I see the law, I would interpret the law a lot like my old boss, Justice Antonin Scalia, who, of course, was one of the most conservative justices on the Supreme Court. She emphasized that she wouldn't be Justice Scalia, that she would be Justice Barrett. And she pointed out that even Justice Scalia and Justice Clarence Thomas have disagreements. But Justice Scalia and Justice Thomas are really conservative, so most people wouldn't see a lot of daylight between there. That was really different, and in some ways that tees up what I think could be almost an historic first for this nomination. She could be the first conservative woman with that strong overarching judicial philosophy the Supreme Court has ever had. It's only had one conservative woman, Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, but she was more of a pragmatist, and she voted with liberals quite often, certainly in the back half of her career.
All right, Jan Crawford, thanks so much for being with us this morning.